Did you just start a fight?
Yep.
Motherfucker. Alright guys, I'll be with you in just a moment. I'm gonna have to kick this dude's ass real quick.
Should I pause?
Yeah.
You wish you
So
could
this
fuck
motherfucker started my, No. This motherfucker started my game while I was, talking, and I got my ass beat by Nate Diaz. So, he's a fucker.
It was pretty amusing. I giggled a little bit.
Anyway, we're gonna start this video today. What's up, guys? This is Demi, and I'm here with your future king, still slightly inebriated.
What's up, homie G's? I wish I was slightly more inebriated.
He's
though.
slightly inebriated. I'm pretty good.
Did you finish that other one?
Not yet.
I still got time.
But you ain't finished it yet.
Yeah, I still got time. It's ready.
Chug that motherfucker right now. You ain't done shit. Chug that fucker. Well, it's a sip. All y'all at home sitting there bashing him, just know he's a lightweight.
A lightweight, my ass. I'm Russian and Japanese. The camera lady would like a sip.
You are not worthy.
Of course, we are here again with Luna, controlling the camera, as always. I want my alcohol back.
Yes, dear.
Anyway, I ended the last video saying that we were going to go with swords. So, anything over 12 inches, any bladed weapon over 12 inches. It can be a bayonet, it can be medieval style, it can be katana.
For swords, it's a little tough because I like rapiers and I like.
We'll go like the pistols. Have one for dual wielding and one for.
Alright, if we do that, I'd like dual wield rapier and single wield a katana. Because for katana, you want two hands for the best control and power that you can possibly get out of it. Of course, you can't.
That's why the handle's so long.
Well, you can dual wield a katana, but it's not meant for that. And you.
I've become accustomed to dual wielding katanas simply because of Miyamoto Musashi. I keep wanting to say Masaki, but that was my ninjutsu instructor, Masaki Hatsune. Miyamoto Musashi, in his Book of the Five Rings and his Nitsu Nichiryu, which is a school of two swords, one heaven.
Which, I mean, I do practice a little bit of dual wielding katanas.
It's not as easy though, it's a lot harder. Especially considering that Nitsu Nichiryu is meant to have a short sword in one hand and a full-size katana in your dominant hand.
I do wield with two full-size katanas.
Me too.
The only thing that makes up for the lack of power is the scissor blades, because you get two edges cutting at the same time and it works. So.
And I mean, there's still a shit ton of power.
Yeah,
it's just
double swings and
you
double
can get
thrust.
Double swings, double thrusts, or even just one swing. You still got that whole power of one arm.
But with two hands, you
just
can,
don't have
you can have the leverage, and then that's where you get the fucking real power of the two-handed sword.
So of course, single wielding, you go with a katana.
Single wielding, I go with a katana, or a double-edged broadsword, depending on who I'm fighting against. Like I like a nice double-edged broadsword just for the fact that it's fucking huge and you swing that motherfucker, someone's head is gone. Same thing with a katana, but it's more about speed than power.
Right.
Either one would work for single wielding, but if I'm going to go into combat, I would pick a katana over a fucking a double-edged broadsword. Though I do like having two edges, because then I don't have to pay much attention to the fucking way I'm swinging.
Direction of the blade.
I just go back and forth until somebody's head's gone. But
it wouldn't take very long.
But with dual wielding, I want to use rapiers.
Well, the biggest disadvantage to a double-bladed sword is the fact that the blade is most often straight. Which means with the swing you have to pull. You have to pull
to get a slice.
Because the katana's curved blade, the whole point of it is to simulate a pull at the same time that you're slicing.
Yeah.
Because then the blade is sliding along the skin or bone or whatever and cutting through it at the same time. Even though you're not aware of a pull towards you or a push forward or whatever during the swing, it's still simulating the same effect.
Of course, you still have Falchions and Centaurs and all of those other curved weapons, but none of them are as elegant. Some of them are about the same,
Well,
comparable
this
in
one-
speed,
this
but
one,
none
keep
of
in
them
mind-
are as elegant.
Keep in mind any bladed weapon, because I'm not. The blade itself doesn't have to be over 12 inches. Just the weapon itself over 12 inches.
I'm talking. Even if you put that in consideration, I'm not thinking about no fucking rifle with a bayonet.
No, I mean like spears.
A
No
spear?
projectiles.
So like
Spears and naginatos,
still no.
kanabos.
None of those would get me over a sword.
Well, a kanabo isn't really bladed, but the impact itself can break someone's arm through a Spartan shield.
Yeah. But no.
So
No.
katana or a double-edged broadsword for a single hand.
Yeah.
Double
and then
weapon rapier.
Double weapon would almost certainly be rapiers. Just cause
I'm pretty sure we got your own
Thrust.
setup in the first video.
Ace.
I'm pretty sure we got your own setup.
Oh
in
yeah,
the
we
first
got that in
video.
the first video.
Me?
I love the fucking the skill for both a katana or a rapier. You have to be very skilled to wield either one. If you're amateur and you pick
Not
up
really
one
to
of those,
wield it, but to use it effectively.
yeah.
Because-
If you pick up one of those and you don't know what the fuck you're doing, anybody who has any skill at all with them will fuck you up. You
Like,
cannot pick
how
that
many-
up and not be good at it.
How many of you out there actually knew that with any bladed weapon, you're supposed to parry or block with the blunt side of the weapon, either the side or the back? Because if you parry or block with the blade with the sharp edge, all you're gonna do is nick the hell
Yeah,
out of that
you'll be
blade.
fucking up your sword, and it will not be worth a shit in a few more fights.
Right. So
If you are a combat
that's a very
samurai
small
and you
detail.
deflect with your fucking blade, you are not going to be a combat samurai
That's
for very long.
that's a very small detail that they don't take into account in movies. Movies, all you see is ting, ting, ting. You don't see the whole.
actual technique.
Right. It's just a bunch of blocking with the blade.
Like a
edge.
fencing rapier, it's a circle for a reason, because you're moving the blade away from you and you're not putting all that force on the edge of your sharp
You
edge.
hit it with the flat side and then spin around to get the either.
Because you can easily just slap it away, but
you're.
you're fucking up your sword if you do that.
Right.
That's why that's the whole reason for the circular
That's why
motion.
you see so many katanas straight up slicing through other swords, because they're going straight through the fucking sharp end of the blade where it's bends.
Yeah.
So rapiers. Why would you pick rapiers for dual wielding?
Well, because
I'm sure you've already explained that, but I'm at about 35% inebriated. My brain's not exactly working too well.
well, see, I can dual wield times, but they're
Ow.
not.
Okay, maybe 55%. I just hit my tooth. My tooth.
Well, see, I can dual wield times, but I prefer not to because you don't have as much control over them that way.
And besides that, it's only one edge that you can go with.
With a rapier, you have a double edge, and they're meant for single-handed use. Of course, when you use a rapier, you're meant to use it one-handed to fight another motherfucker, and maybe two-handed if you have a parrying dagger. But there are lots of styles to incorporating two rapiers, and two rapiers meaning that every thrust you give, they have to block both of them. Every slice you give, they have to block both of them.
Well, a slice in the same direction, like if you take two slices in the same direction,
it's pretty easy
to parry, or to block. Not so much to parry. because
But
then
if you
one
swing
of
it on both and then you pull one back, then you still have a stab.
Right.
And you still have an alternate hand to do something different with. If they're
No.
able to keep up with your one-handed style, two-handed you can alternate everything and they can't keep
The
up.
biggest problem with two-handed wielding any kind of bladed weapon, the biggest problem is simply keeping any long-bladed weapon is simply keeping from making the same motion with both hands, keeping from doing double slices in the same direction.
When you
Because
start out fighting,
our mind is meant to follow each hand. It's difficult to do this,
Yeah.
and it looks weird. So we
it
try to
doesn't
keep ourselves
look
from
like you're
looking
doing
weird.
something that makes sense. But when you do shit like this all over the place, it looks retarded. But they are fucking. They can't keep
They're
up,
panicking.
and they are
as
dead.
hell. They're panicking.
They are going to be
panicking.
fucked. You look like a retard. You
I
look
can't
like a
even fucking
motherfucker.
say panicking.
Yeah, you look like a motherfucker who can't use a sword if you're fucking wailing like this. But who the fuck can fight
Who
against
can
that?
block that?
Who can do anything against all that? Nobody. So if you wail like an idiot, you probably will kill somebody.
You'll either get your arm chopped off because you slipped up. But
Yeah.
either way, for single wielding, I would have to say definitely, absolutely, most certainly, the claymore.
Oh,
Yes,
you
the
got me. I
Claymore.
thought you was going
I
for a
know.
katana.
The Claymore, because first off, it's huge. It's
is
very
huge.
difficult to use.
And there goes a head.
It's very difficult to use, but
You have to
even
be
without
buff. You
the
have to be
pulling,
really buff for that.
even without the pulling,
It's more about
this is a
cleaving.
sword that weighs 30 pounds easy at the lightest.
Yeah.
The practice fucking Claymore weighs 30 pounds.
Yeah, you have to be.
What? It didn't stop, did it?
Not yet.
Okay, awesome. I thought the video stopped for a second. She was doing something over there. I was like, what the fuck?
I
Anyway.
was saying wrap it up because the battery's getting low.
Oh, well, fuck it. The Claymore is fucking fantastic, and it takes both hands to use effectively.
It's
You can't
more for
fucking use it
cleaving
with
and
one hand.
slicing.
'Cause, I mean, a 30-pound blunt-edged Claymore will
Still
still
split your
fuck
skull.
somebody up.
You hit somebody in the, it don't matter because the thinness of it and the weight of it will splice their fucking head wide open like it's an axe.
And then, if you have a sharper one, usually weighs about 35, 40 pounds. That is extremely heavy for a weapon. And for the most part, it's top heavy. So it's
I
very
do
hard
like
to
Claymore,
wield.
but you can't really react fast enough.
We can't react fast enough unless you're buff as hell.
You
For
have
dual
to be
wielding,
really buff.
for dual wielding, I am a huge fan of the Nitsu Ryu. I love two katanas for dual wielding. But for single wielding, I have to say it's probably a tie between the Claymore and the Naginata. Because I love the Naginata.
The Naginata is really good. You got all that range, so much control.
If you don't know what a Naginata is, I can't really explain it
I'm
because
sure
my
we covered
battery's
it in the last
running
video.
low. It might have been covered in the last video.
Before that one.
It might have been covered in part 1, but if not, look it up on Google because the Naginata is a fantastic weapon.
It's basically a spear with a small katana on the end.
Some forms of it can be split. Well, it's not really a katana; it's more of a falchion. But some models of it can be split off into a sword and a bow.
Speaking of, I really do like the falchion.
Falchions are pretty badass.
They're nice.
Anyway, moving on. Moving on
Single
because
edge,
I don't
but
have.
since they're single edge, I go
But they
for
are extremely curved though, so they
Yeah.
also have that
deflecting.
pull back.
Yeah, you can deflect.
You have that
blades
pull back
with it.
at the same time as the swing, so you don't have to keep in mind to pull back while you're swinging. Shotguns. Favorite shotgun?
Favorite shotgun, without a doubt, 12 gauge. You can do a lot with it. Folding stocks, shorter
Any
barrels.
Just any model.
Basically any model 12 gauge, because the 12 gauge round itself comes in so many varieties. You got fletchings,
Flesher.
whatever they are. The little tiny darts with fucking tiny little feather type things on them. Basically designed for killing humans. They fly up, destroy you. You got your buckshot, birdshot, flares,
Rock salt.
rock salt.
Rock salt. It's not meant to kill, but it's meant to hurt.
rock salt, bean
That's
bags.
more for domestic protection. Though,
Bean
the rock
bags
salt.
for shit like that. Smoke grenades. I already said flares. You got certain ones that are designed to bust open through locks, to open doors. I'm sure I'm leaving out some, but I'm
Now,
drawing a blank right
would
now.
you
But
prefer-
so many
Would you
varieties of
prefer a
ammo.
semi-auto or a pump action?
Pump action. Semi-auto, it's just you don't want that. You waste your ammo. It's not as much control. With a pump action, you pick your shots, you pick your ammo because you might have a bandolier with whatever ammo you want on it, and you pull that
You might have
specific.
some buckshots, some slugs, some
You
rock
pick out your
salt.
specific ammo for a specific reason or
Necessity.
whatever, and you slide it right in, and you pump it, and you're ready to go.
For me, I'd have to go with the 410 pump. I was raised on a 410 pump for deer hunting. Slugs, I'm fantastic with a 410 pump. It's got a small round, but the penetrating power and the destruction of it is fantastic.
For just a single type of bullet.
And if I'm not mistaken, it's like a 20. It's not quite a 22. It's probably a 18 maybe gauge. It's really small, even the slugs, but holy shit, it's got a lot of stopping power. It's got a lot of destructive capabilities.
It'll do what it needs to do, and you won't need a lot of different types of it. But the only reason why I like the 12 gauge,
there's still a lot of different types of ammo for a 410 pump.
the only reason I like 12 gauge is because it's super available. Everybody has a fucking
Oh, yeah.
12 gauge. So you will find 12 gauge
I mean,
ammo
it
no
is
matter
the
what
home
situation.
defense
Yeah.
weapon
No matter
of
what.
choice.
No matter where you go, what situation you're in, you can get a hold of 12 gauge ammo. And there are so many varieties. It's like the Swiss Army knife, but fucking guns.
Yeah.
It's a Swiss Army gun, is what it is. You can fucking do anything you want with them, motherfucker. Smoke, flares.
And the undercarriage capabilities.
Oh,
Don't even
yeah,
get
you
me
can
started.
attach any damn thing down to there.
A shotgun with a shotgun.
Yeah. Got me an extra shotgun just for my shotgun.
Okay, specialty weapons. This is miniguns, rocket launchers, grenade launchers, anything.
Specialty weapons. That's a hard one because that pretty much includes anything you think of. If I was going for my straight up setup, that'd be my specialty weapons with my claws and rapiers, which are in another video. Or
Maybe.
otherwise, other than that, I'd probably go with a big ass minigun. Just cause cut a
Yeah, but
fucking
you still
building
gotta
down.
be buff as hell for that.
I mean, if I was gonna use it, I would be buff. But
It's true. Be fucking Mr. T or that dude from the Old Spice commercials, or that dude in all those in that white chick movie that's in love with white chick songs.
I didn't watch White Chicks.
I don't remember what his name. He was in the Expendables, and he used the minigun in the Expendables.
Okay, yeah. Terry Crews.
That guy. Yes,
Yeah.
Terry Crews.
He's pretty fucking buff.
Funny fucking guy. But pretty buff.
He's funny and he's buff. Which is a good combination. You could probably get a lot of ladies.
Probably my weapon of choice would
I'll
be.
probably hang out with that guy.
Probably my weapon of choice would be the Call of Duty Ghost grenade launcher that shoots 2 grenades every trigger pull, and there's Simtech grenades, so they stick to whatever they hit.
That's pretty devastating.
That would probably be my weapon of choice simply because even with the recoil, the second shot is going farther. So even if the first shot don't hit them, the second shot they're trapped between 2 fucking grenades. I mean, where are you gonna go?
Yeah.
Where are you gonna go? You can't go anywhere. Either that or now this is really fucking stupid, but the RPG, the Russian made just stand up noob tube.
Speaking of, they have RPG attachments that you can attach to M16s and stuff. You can just put them right in the tip
What?
and fire off a rocket right off the
What?
tip of the fucking assault rifle.
It's fucking stupid as hell, but I would use it. Grenades! Grenades. What is your top pick for handheld specialty weapons? Grenades, Simtech, sticky bombs, C4, anything.
That's a hard choice. Goes
Everything from jerry can to fucking flash grenade.
That's very hard. There's a lot of shit.
That is
If I was just gonna fucking go with anything off the top of my head, it'd just be a random fucking frag grenade because it just does so much damage. You throw it into a room, boom, everybody in the room's dead. But there's a lot of alternate fucking things you can use them for, like Simtech. You can stick to the side of the vehicle that's going, and that you don't have to fucking time the explosion. You just stick it, wait for it to go.
Roll up underneath it, stick it on the other side, undercarriage, and then let it go.
And of course, C4, you can blow open doors or walls or whatever the hell you need to get
Bank
where
vault.
you want to go.
I didn't say that.
Anything you want to do.
Let's see. Probably my personal favorite handheld specialty weapon is the 9-bang. And it sounds like something out of science fiction. If you've ever played Call of Duty, you know what a 9-bang is. Basically, it's a flashbang, an EMP, a flashbang, an EMP, a smoke grenade, and something else, all rolled into one. And it sounds like something out of the realm of science fiction, but it actually exists. And that would be my go-to choice. Toss that in a room. Boom, boom, boom. Dead. I mean, they can't do shit. That would be my ultimate choice. Just the 9-bang. It'd be fantastic.
Yeah, it would do a lot. I really can't think of anything that would do better than that, really.
I mean, granted, it doesn't have the lethality, but it disrupts electronic communication. It disrupts electronic anything. It disrupts electronics. It'll flashbang, so it's got a really loud bang and a really bright flash. A bright flash. And it's got smoke to disrupt anyone who may have closed their eyes